Welcome everybody. I'm Daniel Plaster. I'm the Lexington Mission School. Welcome to our 23-24 school year. We're so excited to have you here and be a part of our first talk with the principal. We hope that you will be a part of more this year. We have a lot of great topics that we're going to be covering, and we also do this, as you can see, we do this simultaneously, virtually, as well as having people here. When you are present, you're more than welcome to have coffee, have snacks. When you're at home, you have to make your own coffee. Okay. All right. So anyway, we have a great presentation. You're going to get a lot of information. We're going to be here to ask questions, help answer. If you have any concerns, my assistant principal will be here afterwards. You can help. We can talk to you about any of the specific concerns. All right. Well, let's get started. And of course, the number.
Switched on.
This is I shared the screen. Forgot to click back on the screen.
Okay. So am I already going through it? Perfect. Okay. So here at Lexington Junior High School about 3 or 4 years ago, we went through a revisioning process where we decided we were going to revision our school and give ourselves a revision statement. So this is on all of our in our classrooms, are on signs everywhere, and it's we champion a collaborative community that excels in student-centered learning opportunities, creative thinking, and embraces diversity. We empower compassionate citizens of tomorrow to meet the demands of an ever-changing global society. So we came up with this vision statement with stakeholders, community members, teachers, administrators, and this has become our vision, and it's posted on big banners in the blog. We talk about this, and we try to embed this into all of our classrooms. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do an introduction. I'm going to introduce some of my staff, and then we're going to talk about some of the student support programs. We're going to talk about parent volunteer opportunities, and we're also going to talk about how you can communicate with us. Let me see what the next one is. Let's do our introductions first. I introduced myself, Daniel Plaster. I'm going to call up my amazing assistant principals and counselors. Ms. Bernhardt, will you get the counselors for me, please? Thank you. And is Ms. Lee in the house? She is. Come on, there's Ms. Lee. So Ms. Mariana Lee is our assistant principal. This is her second year with us, and she's going to be with any of your 8th graders this year. So if you have an 8th grader this year, she is the person that you need to contact. Please feel free to take pictures of all of the slides. All of our email addresses are really the same. There are last names, underscore, first initial, and then @a3c.us. We have Miss Bernhardt. Miss Bernhardt, she is our 7th grade assistant principal, and she actually was a teacher here a long time ago, and then not that long ago. She was a math teacher here, and then she went into the world of administration. We're very lucky to have both of our great administrators. We have Miss Wender right over here. She is our 8th grade counselor. If you are an 8th grade parent, that is who you may want to reach out to if you have counseling questions. Coming into the room, we have Miss Kim. This is Stacy again. She is our 7th grade counselor. Some of you might have already been communicating with Stacy, and now you can see this is who's been responding to your emails. Okay, and this is Miss Walters. She's our school psychologist. So if you have a student that's in a special program, this might be somebody you may want to reach out to. I'm looking around and I see Mr. Barba, who you've already met. He is our faces. So at every school in our district, we have a family and community engagement specialist. He is the person responsible for sending out the wonderful Monday memos. That if you have not opened those up yet, you should open them up. They have a lot of great information. He's going to talk a little bit about his parent leadership academies. He's the person who does a lot of the outreach to the communities. And then I'd like to see if Ms. Gomez can come on out here too. Is she around?
Mr. Klapsker,
Yeah.
the people on Zoom are having a hard time. Could you hold the
I will
mic?
hold it up here. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Is this better for this? Hopefully the Zoom people can hear me now and get a thumbs up. How many do we have on Zoom right now?
38.
38. All right. So we have 38, and then we have a special slide for you. So I'm going to introduce you in a second to our Officer Martinez. And when Ms. Gomez comes on out, I'll introduce her as well. Oh, Look at that, it's right here. That's where Jonathan put it up. All right, so Officer Martinez, want to come on up here? Yeah, you gotta come on up here. This is Officer Martinez, Section PD. So a few years ago, we got a grant, or actually, the police department got a grant. And it's in line with the FDA for the anti-smoking, anti-drug grant in California. And they were able to provide the 3 schools in Cyprus High School, our school, and Oxford, with a safety resource officer. And she's gonna talk a little bit about what she does here. She will be here Tuesday through Friday. We shifted the safety resource officer from Monday to Thursday to Tuesday to Friday. Friday is a very active day. So we wanted you to be a part of that process. So I wanted to talk and say hello.
Good morning, like you mentioned, my name is Officer Martinez. I've been a school resource officer. Gonna be my second semester, so I came in last year in January. Yeah, I'm here with the students on the day. I do have 2 other schools that I'm assigned to, so I'm not here all the time, but if you ever need to contact me, feel free to let anyone in the office know that you'd like to get a hold of me. They all have to be getting these.
Yeah, awesome. We're very fortunate and lucky to have Officer Martinez. And one of the main driving forces for us to have SROs here is really not to enforce criminal type cases with the students. It really is about building relationships. And so when Officer Martinez walks around on campus, kids are coming up to her. They're saying hello to her. She's engaged with them. She's talking about how to be, character, and she's building those relationships with the students. And in fact, now that she's going to Cypress High School, she has a lot of students from Cypress High School that she recognized from last year. So this is an ongoing grant where we're hoping that she will stay with the program so the students will know who she is all the way through. And of course, if there's things that do come up at the school, we do utilize Officer Martinez to help with resolving any of those situations. So we're really happy to have you guys here. It looks like we have Parker over there in the back. He wants to introduce himself.
Hi, Sergeant Carrillo. I run our detective drill. I have the pleasure of supervising Diana. She's fantastic. I'm glad Crystal Custer mentioned building relationships. One of the things that Diana excels at is seeing problems before they become problems, and getting me involved with letting the school be a safe place for students. It's a great community. We love all our schools, but just a fantastic job. I just want you guys to know that she's paying attention to your kids. And even if you're not, just feel free to hit her up, the principal, or myself.
So, opening day. Yesterday was opening, right? We got everybody into the gym. Everybody was in their classes within about 5 minutes. No joke, you go onto our campus, it was a ghost town. Everybody was in their classes. We still were out there every single day talking to students, where's this, where's that. But you should see it. Once they learn the routine once, they know what's happening. So hopefully you had your student came home and said they had a great day yesterday. We know that the parking lot is a little busy, especially that first week. I'll talk a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts. And we give you some strategies for parking around here. But we don't typically like to start straight with curriculum. You might do some science work or maybe a little bit of math work, but it's usually related to community building. So we talked to our teachers about opening up our schools through community building. So for example, today they're going through all of their binary reminders, and I'll talk a little bit about that. It's a student handbook. The teachers are all going through a lesson with it. We're going to do some kindness lessons. We're going to do some community building lessons. Tomorrow in PE class, all the administrators are going to talk about behavior expectations and what does it mean to be a Lexington client. Next week, they're going to be creating what's called social contracts in all of their classes so that they establish their classroom norms, right? This is what it means to be junior high. Our 8th graders coming in have already experienced this year. Our 7th graders come from everywhere, right? And the elementary school district is very different to come from elementary to junior high. You go from one class, right, 5 hours a day, to 7 classes, right, throughout the entire day, and they're 50 minutes. So it's a little transition, and we understand this, so we go very slowly in these classes. We get them used to things, and I guarantee you, they learn very quickly, they learn their routes, they learn their routines. And then before you know it, it's like they're veterans. They have been here all year long, and it takes really about a week. It really truly does. And they're gonna find their places, where they sit for lunch, who their friends are, what programs they want to be a part of. And then before you know it, it's as if they've always been here, like I shared. But there are a lot of opportunities for students throughout the year to get to know kids. So our opening day, this is kind of an example of what our opening day looks like and up and around campus. And then we get started with everything else throughout the entire year. So for this year, I already went through it, but this is what our community activities are going to look like. Wanted to take a quick look at that. So today being day 2, we are doing planner reviews in classrooms. I am going to talk a little bit about the planner. Jonathan, do we have a slide on the planner?
I think there is.
There is, okay, so I will wait for that one.
And then for our parents, this will be also posted on our Monday memo and then on our school website, but it's later today. So it'll go to the website, presentation on the Monday memo, we'll include the links to it as well.
Perfect. All right. Here is a really important slide that we actually go over with the kids and we go over with the parents. So Lexington Junior High School was built in 1972, correct?
I believe so.
Yes, got it. 1972. So Miss Percy was actually a teacher here for a very, very long time. So she has a special place in our heart for Lexington.
And last 25 years of my career.
And so whenever I need a history lesson of Lexington, I ask Miss Percy. This is the way it used to be. She takes me all around campus and says, this was this and this was this. I love it. But when Lexington was built in 1972, we did not have the same amount of kids. So I don't know what the exact enrollment was in 1970 or when you were here.
When it began, it was only 2 years. It started at Watch for 1 year, 7th grade, then 8th grade, then 9th grade, just like we did other campuses. So at that time, junior high was 3 years, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And how many kids do you remember were part of
Well, I don't know what we started with, because I was at another campus, but I know that when I came here in 1980, it was 680 kids.
Total. Okay, we are at total. We are at 1,280. We have 1,280 schools, or 1,280 students. We are the second largest junior high in our district.
No, we're bigger.
Now we're the biggest. And we just surpassed probably 6 more south.
Sycamore and South all of us were close together, but right now we are large.
So as you can tell, there have been a lot of improvements in building structures during that time period, portables in the back to accommodate our enrollment. But unfortunately, the parking lot is probably the same as it was.
No, it's big. No.
Bigger. Wow.
Originally, we didn't have parking past the gymnasium. Okay, that was not part of it.
So we should be happy.
When it was,
See?
right, this is better. And then explain, because before, there was parking both at toward the building and toward the street. And there was only one path. So, and also I wanted to make the comment when I said that the 680, and that year that I came, we only had 2 grade levels, 7th and 8th. That's when we changed to middle school, because that's when the district closed 6th grade and 9th. So that's why it was only 680, because it was only 7th and 8th grade. 9th grade is also high.
So thank you for that. That's a great history lesson right there. And parking is really, really crowded. We understand it. We know this. So a couple of things I sent out some messaging last night. Hopefully you received it. We are happy that Cypress PD is out ensuring safety every next couple of weeks to get everybody going. They're doing that both at Cypress High School and in Oxford as well. But the yellow curve out in front is really the pickup and drop off area. Please do not drop off your students on Orange Avenue, or please do not drop them off in that middle lane. It's dangerous. In the morning, generally, it'll move fairly quickly. If you want to get through it quickly, then you're gonna have to be here around 7:30. Get here at 7:45, you're gonna get backed up, as you know, and it's gonna go back in, right? And that's what happens. So please try and plan your morning so you can get here a little bit earlier. I do understand getting your other kids to schools. You've got to get to work, it's early, we understand that. I myself have 3 children. I have to work through how do I get my own children to school and get myself here at reasonable time as well. So we do understand those pieces. We open up our gates at 7:15 in the morning. So 7:15 in the morning, kids are welcome to come on campus, and then they're more than welcome to go get breakfast. I'm not saying drop their children off before 7:15, but if they so happen to be here, there are people here. We start our office staff gets in here right around 7 a.m. All right, but please try to make it around 7:15. So that's when they can have breakfast. Most of the kids will start coming in, walking and whatnot around 7:45. And again, I want to just point out that that lane that's in the second lane, that's a pass-through lane only. You need to keep that lane moving so that other people can get through or leave the merged area. And then the crosswalk, you know, we're out there and we're helping kids cross that area. And those are really for the kids who are walking, right? Because you shouldn't have parents dropping off at Orange Avenue. But we know that it happens, right? And then so we want to make sure that those kids come safely on the campus. Now the reverse is that we try to open up the lot for the parents to come in at 2 p.m. to start parking. I'm going to tell you at 2 p.m. it's already full. Already parents are sitting out camping and waiting for their children, okay, to be excused at 2:25. That is a little bit longer of a wait time because they're waiting for their children. Once their children get in the car, then we exit them out. And that's why it's important for that second lane to keep on moving. All right. Throughout the entire day, if you need to visit our main office, you can't park in that yellow curb if there's no staff parking available. Okay, you don't have to keep circling around and around and around. You can park on the yellow curb, come on in, do what you need to do. If you have meetings, you can go through those pieces. Because we have lots of parking here. And then the last thing I want to just mention for parking is please do not park in the bus stop area because that ties everything up. The buses do need to have priority to pick up those students and to make sure they can get out safely. All right, but I guarantee you this, it takes about a week, okay, and you will figure it out where to have your children go. In the morning time, we open up, we have 2 gates that are open in the morning. We have the gate over by the tennis courts, okay, so that so kids can come in that direction from the neighborhood. We close the Arnold gate. So please do not pick up and drop off at Arnold Elementary. We close the Arnold gate so that kids have to walk around, and so we can say hello to them in the morning, right? That's our goal, is to say hi to all the kids. So they come in through the main gate. But at the end of the day, we're like, okay, it's time to go home. So we open up all the gates. So we open up that gate, this gate. We open them all up. Okay. But every year we always get a phone call from the principal at Arnold Elementary asking us to make an announcement to not go into Arnold to do your pickup and drop offs. You'll figure it out. After about a week or so, it'll calm down and you'll be able to get through in about 10 minutes. That's usually about how long it takes. Do you guys have any questions about the parking lot that I can help answer right now? Any questions? Yes. Same time. Yeah, the custodian and our campus safety, campus safety crew, they go around and they open up all the gates. That gate's the last one that opens at 7. And then they split up so that they see all the kids coming in from that side of the campus. And then administration, we're out walking around at 7:30. That's a great question. I need somebody who lives in the area to help me. Is it Corset? Is that the name of that? It gets a little tricky back there. It curves around and turns. I need to ask some of my teachers who actually live in the area. But any other questions? Okay, moving on. All right, cell phones and electronics. Okay, so we always get questions about cell phones. And I'm gonna share with you that we are a cell phone free, so to speak, school from 8 AM to 2:25 to the exit of school. We do not allow the students to have cell phones out and using them during passing period and during lunchtime. I'm gonna explain why. Now, if teachers individually would like to have their kids use cell phones in the classroom, there's lots of uses for cell phones, right? Take pictures of assignments. They can go on an app that the teacher wants them to go on. Maybe it's a Google Translate, whatever it might be. That's up to the individual teacher. But as a school rule, we say no cell phones. They should be put away from 8 AM to 2:25. Kids can come on campus with them. They can leave campus when it's over. And here's the reason. It is really not because of all of the social media. And yes, I agree with you that social media can really cause a lot of drama. But the real reason why we don't want cell phones on campus is we want to be able to come back to a place where our students are engaged in talking with one another. All right, and this is the real reason. So most of the time, they do their socialization during lunchtime, it's 30 minutes. 30 minutes out of an entire day to actually talk with one another is not a long time. And if I can carve out a space where they are engaged in playing, talking, doing things, we're gonna keep that culture of them engaged in that conversation. And that's the reason why we don't do cell phones. Now, they have Chromebooks. So if you go on our campus, you're gonna see them on their Chromebooks. But as a school, we don't have cell phones. Now, in case of an emergency, they are always able to call you. They can come up here and call you. Kids have ways of texting, right? We don't know if they're in the bathrooms, when they're using their cell phones, they'll do that. We understand that. But for the most part, we want to continue the engagement of them having conversations with one another. I feel like we've really lost that. And if you go to anywhere where there's cell phones, like in our dances, they're allowed to use their cell phone. They're all lined up and doing this. And even my own children. So when I share that, this is the reason why. Now, if we see the cell phones out, we generally give them a warning to put your cell phone away. If they are continuously having their cell phone out for whatever reason it is, we will confiscate the cell phone, we'll bring it up to the main office, they will get a behavior intervention for it, and we will ask you as a parent or a family member to come and pick it up. We're pretty strict on it in terms of picking up. We do not want to hold on to your cell phones. We don't want responsibility for them. But we also want to engage them in the art of talking and making sure that they're not using it. They have plenty of time to use it before and after school. Okay. And so do I have any questions regarding cell phones and cell phone policy or usage? Okay, awesome. Can I introduce Ms. Gomez real quickly? Ms. Gomez is our social worker. She's a full-time social worker here on our campus to help students with any social emotional needs. But yet she does a lot of other pieces. She helps with our Lion Lounge, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit.
Nice to meet everybody.
All right. All right, dress code. Is Ms. Bernhardt here? I always like it when Ms. Bernhardt does the dress code conversation. But she's not here. All right, so dress code. We have a very strict dress code as well at Lexington. And these are some of the reasons why Lexington has made such an amazing school. It really is. You can see the dress code policy or share this. Please have a conversation with the kids about the dress code policy. All tops must have a sleeve which covers the shoulder completely. No straps or cleavage can be exposed. No straps or low cut tops. The bottoms, basically the bottoms are really hard to gauge. If you're unsure, just put your hand, have your children put their hands down like this. Okay, and generally it should be beyond their knees. If they're and the general rule is you don't want to see any undergarments. That's really the general rule. There's no undergarments. Okay, and the other part of it is the short tops. Okay, especially we do ask. It is mostly females. We ask mostly the females if they have a short top that's exposing their belly. Then we ask them if they have a sweater to zip it up. Okay, and then they can take it off when they're done with school and go about their day. But while they're here at school, we do want them to dress appropriately for the school. Shoes. This is a safety concern for us. Last year we allowed Crocs. This year we are not allowing Crocs. What we found was last year with Crocs, they were wearing them during PE time. And it was causing a real big safety issue. And we were kind of going back and forth. They were supposed to have tennis shoes for PE, but you know, they're teenagers. And I don't know if they're anything like my children. They don't do everything that you say. And so they did wear their Crocs on campus. And so we did make the decision, no Crocs, no flip flops, no types of open toe shoes. And that is for their safety. We've had incidences in the past where students make poor choices, they step on something. Now we're dealing with like, you know, an injury and things of that nature. No slippers. There will be a day when we do like a pajama day and they can dress up in their slippers and their pajamas. And I talked about the midsection and the undergarments, and then the ribs and the jeans are okay. Just make sure that they don't exceed the shorts length. All right, and that is really generally it. So we want our students to be prepared to learn at school. That's why we have these expectations for the students in their dress code. When there is a violation, we'll tell them to change. We don't want to keep them from class time. You may get a phone call. The kids are upset when we tell them. They take it personally. It's not personal. We just want to make sure. And sometimes I know they go through their closets and they pick out the exact outfit they want to wear for school. And they come here and then, you know, me, Mr. Pastor says, I'm sorry, you can't wear that. And then they get upset. It's not personal. We just want to make sure that they're wearing clothes that are appropriate. So if you have any questions about dress code, I'd be happy to answer them after the session. No, you can ask me. Hats. Hats is a great question. We generally don't allow hats on campus. However, if it's a sun-related thing, or if it's a Lexington Lion hat, or if it's on a spirit day, you can wear the hats, right? We understand that some students might need to wear hats because of the sun or out on PE. But most of our areas are shaded coverings, and so we generally don't allow hats or hoodies on campus. And that's a safety reason for us, so that as we walk around and we ask kids who they are, and we can see that. If I see a student with a hoodie, I can't identify who they are. And I want to make sure I know who everybody is on my campus. So we'll generally just take your covered hat, put your hand in your backpack, and go about your business. If they need to wear a hat, all you need to do is communicate with the school, and we'll write a note, and then they'll take them where they're at. We have a few kids on campus who have to wear hats, and so we're okay. Well, that's a great question. So logos are not restricted. However, there's very strict board guidelines and policies regarding dress code. And you can go to our district website as well. And these generally are logos that have to do with either sex, drugs, alcohol, violence. So it's these types of pictures. So we will never allow a student to come to school with a gun on their shirt. Star Wars, you're not going to talk about. I promise you. Okay. And if your child, if anybody says they just want to be, I have a Star Wars poster in my office. But if it's a drug-related issue, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes we don't catch them all. Sometimes, you know, I mean, I'm middle-aged now. I don't know all the lingo of everything, and sometimes they come on the campus and we have to find out, yeah, that's not appropriate. What we'll do is we'll tell them to turn their sweatshirt inside out. We have spare PE clothes. We'll get them back in class. Logos are good. Can't be gang-related. Can't be drugs, alcohol, violence, those types of things. Racial verbiage, things of that nature. Great question. Any other questions regarding dress code? All right. Oh, I got some really great, exciting news. Breakfast and lunch. I shared that breakfast is open at 7:15. We have a new cafeteria supervisor. She's coming from Kennedy High School. Our previous one is retired. And she has got so much energy, and she is bringing into Lexington some great things. So here are some lunch changes. Oh, here are some things you need to know. Lunch is free. Breakfast is free. All your kids need to have is their student IDs. If they don't have their student, they should have their student ID on them. But if they don't have it on them, they just need to know their ID number. They'll punch it in. Every day starting Monday, We are gonna be grilling hamburgers. It's gonna be outside. I know that the kids are gonna love it. There's gonna be pizza 3 to 5 times a week now. And all of the food that's on campus is gonna be freshly made that day. So it's gonna be everything from fish sandwiches to wraps to some of the other food items that the kids are enjoying right now. They're really making a concerted effort to bring really good, healthy, yummy food on the campuses. It doesn't mean your children can't still bring their own food. Absolutely. Food restrictions, whatever it might be, they can bring their own lunches. But we will have food available for them. I'm going to share that I'm going to ask that you don't come every day to drop off food for your children. There's lots of food available. If you are dropping off food, we do have a process for that. You have to bring it in. We are not going to call them up to the main office. What we do is we have a whiteboard that's outside, put the name on the whiteboard that indicates that there's something dropped off for them in the main office. Our front office is too busy to call kids out to have them come up and pick up food. And I know we will not accept DoorDash. Please know that. We will not accept any type of food deliveries. Please do not order food for your children. Order pizza. We won't accept it. We're going to turn them away. Okay, we don't know who's bringing the food. If it's mom and dad, there's a process for it, or somebody in the family. But other than that, they have a lot of food out here. Do you guys have any questions about food? Yes. I typed it. Well, first day's always going to be a little longer. Kids are getting used to it. It took 10 to 12 minutes to get through the whole line. Because I was conscientious about it. I timed it, and I was talking with my sister. It does feel like it's a long line. She might have been. And you get in real quick. They assess at the beginning, and then they open it up. We like to get all the kids through in under 10 minutes. So they're about 10 minutes to get through the line. Obviously, the first ones get through a little faster. We're going to have the grilling starting Monday, so that will also alleviate. The other thing we're bringing on board is slushies. So on those hot days, it costs $1.50 because that's a little bit extra. But there's going to be a stand that they can do it. And then our student store is open 3 days a week. And they also have, and that's for, they have to buy it. But there's popcorn, there's like healthy frozen type of treats. And then there's also like pies. So we have all of these options for the kids. So starting next week, you'll get the rules. No, it'll be cash. Absolutely, 100% every day. Just make sure you remind your child to bring your lunchbox home. Okay? Okay, because at the end of the day, we have tons of lunchboxes and water bottles and all that fun stuff. And it's in our lost town. Yes. Yes.
Is there a set menu for the month?
Yes, we will send out, it's usually a set menu, but we will send out some information home on what the menu looks like.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. No, we do not have anything where the kids can warm food up. Okay? They do not have access to like a microwave. Good question. Now, nor do they have access to refrigeration. So on the side. Any other questions? Moving on. All right, Chromebooks. All right, how many? Can I see a show of hands of how many parents are 7th grade parents? Okay, those any 8th grade parents in the house? Okay, great. 8th grade parents, you kids should already have Chromebooks unless you're new. If you're new to the school system, here in our district, we'll get you a Chromebook. Make sure that they're reading their Chromebooks every day and it's charged. 7th grade, we are going to be distributing the Chromebooks on Monday. That's why all the Chromebooks are lined up in the back. Typically, our library goes all the way back, and none of that is open. We do it through their English classes. We do this intentionally so that the kids will have an opportunity to get their Chromebooks, put the covering on it, and learn how to use it. And when we talk about learning how to use it, we're talking about how to email appropriately, how to communicate, and they go through a lesson with their English teachers. My children do not know how to use email very well. They do not know how to email their teachers, or communicate with teachers. And in fact, it took a long time for my children to learn how to use the phone properly because they don't know how to say hello. So we kind of help them through that process, right? And that's why I put the Chromebooks. Second week of school. Now, if you do buy the insurance, I think it's around, Jonathan, $30. Austin, $30. I cannot tell you to buy it, but I can tell you that the insurance covers all the damages that young 12, 13, 14-year-olds do. And the damages for a broken screen, Austin, how much is the damage for a broken screen? $128. And what are some of the other damages?
Entire device is around 287.
Okay, so if you did not use that already, the entire device replacement is about $287. The insurance is $30. And we do get students who make mistakes, throw things on their Chromebooks and so on and so forth. It is short choice. You also have the option to bring it into your own device if you would like. But they have to bring it every single day. Okay, back and forth to and from school. I believe that you just need to go to our website, okay? And you, there is going to be a link in the website. I put that in the Monday memo, or I put it in one of my messaging. It's also in our book. And you just go to the AUHSD website and click on the help button under technology, and it'll take you to the form that your student has. Is it the student has to fill out the form?
The parents.
The parents fill out the form, and then you can just go through it that way. Okay, any questions on Chromebooks? Yes. We do well lots of borrowing from school on a daily basis. We want them to bring their own Chromebooks back and forth. We will have spares in the classroom if kids forget things, or they're not charged, but we want them to be responsible. Austin, take us through on how to purchase the insurance, Justin.
Yeah, and the email will be going out on Sunday evening with that information, and also it'll be included on the Monday memo. But if you just go to school page, you'll be able to purchase that on there. Just need your student's ID number and the serial number for the device. So you'll have to log in on Monday afternoon once your student has the device to be able to complete the Chromebook purchase.
So for those on Zoom, what we shared with that, you can just get that thing that's going to go out. You have to fill out the form on the website, and then we see everyone. You need to purchase. The question was whether or not there's a carrying device, and there is going to be a protected case on those. But you have to purchase your own. Most kids put it in their bags. Yes. They bring their own computer. It is on them. And that means that parents are liable, and the kids are liable for their computer. But you can't. Yeah. So correct. So the question was, can they leave their device here at school? Correct? No. Please take their device home, back and forth. We do not want to be responsible for their Chromebook being left. Okay. And this is a good opportunity for them to be responsible, to make sure that the device is plugged in the home, and that it's charged overnight. Yes, 100%. The question is, the Chromebooks that are borrowed, that gets checked out to them. Yes, that is their Chromebook between 7th grade and 12th grade. Yes. It's not just 7th grade. It rolls over all the way to high school. If at some point it does need to be exchanged or whatever it might be, they'll see that process. But the Chromebook that gets issued to them is their Chromebook that stays with them now. And we do not collect them at the end of the summer or at the end of the school year. That stays with them through the summer. Yes. Insurance is paid annually. Any other, these are great questions, folks.
How much do you need?
Say again.
Okay, so how much do you need?
So the question is what type of covers do you want for your Chromebook? Just school appropriate. It doesn't matter. They're into Star Wars, it can be Star Wars or whatever it might be. We're always into something different. All right, we talked about all of these pieces. I did put on here some information. If you want to take a picture of this, you certainly can, but it will be on our website. And that's the website at the bottom with the school pay for those of you guys who would like to have pay for the insurance now. By the way, folks, feel free to get up and get a cup of coffee if you like. All right, back to school night. Here's some dates. 8/31. We're going to do back to school night. We're going to be visiting classrooms. We get a lot of parents visiting us. We will open up our basketball courts for you to park. It'll be easy in and out. It's going to be a great night. Teachers are going to go over the curriculum on 8/31 with you. They're going to talk about the cadence, which is our platform for our district, on how to access the homework, the classwork, what you can expect at home. That's coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so 8/31, it generally starts around 6 p.m. You're gonna have to bring someone. That's right. So the question is, she has twins. If you have siblings here, bring another person so that you guys can go to both places. Okay. Student support. So a lot of questions are asked about how can I get my child support with academics throughout the year. So one of the things we do, we do not do, when we talk about subject specific tutoring, we do not offer at our school tutoring. Okay, there are tutoring in many outside sources. We do not have a process where we access tutoring. What we do is we have a homework club that's Monday through Thursday. Okay, that's going to start in like 2 weeks, and we have it subject specific. So what happens is on Monday we might have a math teacher, on Tuesday we might have a English teacher, Wednesday, Thursday. We get about 30 to 40 kids in here. It's all the kids, they teach or walk around, help students out, they collaborate together. It's not one-to-one subject tutoring. There are places you can go for subject tutoring. I know that they have access to the Animal card, there's a library system. I know that you can go to the Khan Academy for some of these subject tutoring. If you need to make an appointment with the teacher, please email them, communicate with them. If you have a question about your child's grades, talk to the teacher first. What is that? I'm not sure what that is. Talk to the teacher first, okay, before contacting an administrator. See what's going on, communicate with them. You can always talk to the teacher, ask them what's happening. Kids can go and visit the teacher after hours. That's generally when there's a teacher office hours. We need to update this because they don't hold office hours during the daytime, but they're willing to talk with kids before school, after class, talk about grades, generally during that time. Counseling support is always a great avenue to go. We have our counselors for kids to talk to, but we also have the Line Lounge, which is the wellness center. So I'm going to go to the Line Lounge. This is something that's really exciting. We are going to be, the Line Lounge is an area on campus, it's a wellness space. It's a place for a calm and quiet space to decompress, community build. It's open during lunchtime. We are going to be opening the Line Lounge. It's open now, but where it says opening late August, early September, is we have a very exciting announcement that we are going to be working with SHOP and Orange County Department of Ed to create a space, and they're going to design it. And it's going to be a space that might look something similar to this. It's gonna be open for all of the teachers as well to use that space, to do community circle building. This is one at Park Middle School. This is Savannah High School in our district. There's also one at Brookers Junior High School. So ours is gonna be over here, and they're gonna furnish these Saturdays. Every day, the Somas is in the lion lounge, for students to go in there. We're gonna get about 30 kids in there at any given day. And it's quiet, they can play games, sometimes they have quiet time, sometimes they do other activities. It's a really great space for our students. We see the need for a social emotional health support. Do you guys have any questions in regards to this? This is Marine View Middle School, this is Lexington High School, this is what it might look like. Talk about a specific exact. Yes. Yes. Yeah, they want to eat lunch there, they can. It's a free space. It's just another space on campus. With that many kids on campus, we offer lots of areas for them to sleep. Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Before school, after school, with teachers, as appointments, if there's a situation that's happening in the counseling office, we can use this quiet, calm space, we can use that space. But it's not a free-for-all kind of going in and out, because we need to have a staff member. Great question. Any other questions regarding the wellness space? Yes. Well, it's not going to be open after school, and it's just that's an example. The question is it open after school? It's not open after school for students hanging out in. We're still developing how it might look. There might be a need for it to be open after school for kids to be impressed a little bit, but as of right now, it's just open during school. Absolutely. Yeah. So the question is about after school pickup time. Our office is open until 4 o'clock. They're more than welcome to wait along the shelter right over here. If there's an awning for all the kids, they're more than willing to wait over there. We have a homework club, right? Our homework club is Monday through Thursday, and that goes at 3:30. 3:30. They're more than welcome to be in the library. We generally don't want them on the campus, so they're welcome to wait out for you until 4 o'clock. Because after 4 o'clock, there's nobody on campus except for custodial staff unless people are working late. So I would not advise about leaving your child there. There are other options though too. There's the Boys and Girls Club after the school program. They do offer tutoring. It is tax office cost to it, but they do offer those. We don't do that 100 seats anymore, which was a good option for parents. Unfortunately, they weren't able to sustain 2 schools, so they weren't able to continue with the program. I thought it was a good option because they went until 6 o'clock and actually fed kids did tutoring. So hopefully that comes back to some of us. You show up, but there's a process. We do a check-in process so we know who's here. Bola, our media tech librarian, she usually helps run that program as they kind of come in. And then we have a teacher here supervising. Yeah. Any other questions? I know how difficult it can be with kids and how to pick up and drop offs. Yeah. That's the question is when can they come in? It's as you need. Monday through Thursday, come 2 days, come 1 day. And then we offer other after school tech programs throughout the year. Remember, there's sports after school, clubs sometimes meet after school, so there's various types of other activities. But for sports goes till about 4 o'clock. I got to slide on the sports. All right. Spirit planner reminders, please go over this with your children when they're getting them. They're getting them today. They're going to get all the classes. There's all a calendar, has all the school rules in it. Every day they're going to be asked to write things in it. It looks like this. And then intramurals. This is a good slide for those of you guys who are interested in sports. It's a copy or it'll outline when our first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we have 4 seasons of sports. We do co-ed flag football. Both boys and girls can play football. We do boys tennis, girls volleyball. Second quarter, we have all of the sports for the most part, except for any swimming sports. Okay, that happens at the high school level. And then the program is about 6 weeks, about 5 days a week, with 2 or more weeks for team competition with other junior highs. It's a lot of fun, but if you try out, information will go out to the kids. Not everybody makes the team. Okay, you get a lot of kids trying out for soccer, football, basketball. Not everybody makes the team. There are tryouts. They put out a list. Just listen for the announcements that they come through. Okay. Questions about sports? Yes. Yes.
No, baseball.
We do not do baseball. Yes, that's a great question.
So is it the same thing that she wants to?
We have different teams. No, we have a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team. So every sport will have a 7th grade and an 8th grade team. The 7th graders will play together, the 8th graders will play together, and it is for every single one of these sports. Except for, I believe, track. Track is all checked. Yes. Yes. No, it's not optional. If they're gonna play the sport, it's like being at a practice or a game. Don't play until 4 o'clock generally when practice is over. Oh yes, that it is optional which one they want to go and play. So if say like it's first quarter and you have a son who wants to play boys tennis and not football, they play boys tennis. If they want to play football, they can play football. But that's a sport that's during that time period. Great question. Yes.
Where do we get the clearance?
There is no clearance form like in high school. Okay, you don't need to do like in high school because it's CIF regulated. You have to go through a lot of the checks and you gotta get the physicals and all of that. This is really it's very short window of time. And the coaches will go through with all of the parent sign the sheet for the parents and they'll get them out to you. So you just they'll give all that information to you during their sports meeting. Okay?
And then Ms. Shandy sent out an email this week or last week, I believe, with information on that, and we'll include it again on the Monday memo.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on this? All right, we're excited. We always have such a great sports program here. Our coaches do a great job. We're always in like the championships and the playoffs and all the intramural stuff. It's a lot of fun. I like coming out there. And we hope to see you out there too, right? We want you to see you out there and bring your children on. All right, and then I think these are the last slides. Yes, Jonathan?
I think we have a couple more.
Couple more. Parent opportunities. Please take a picture of this. I'm always looking for parents to be a part of our superintendent parent advisory committee. That's a parent that's just represents the parent community and meets with Mr. Matsuda at the district office, talk about things that are happening in our district, things that are concerns, things that are challenges, or things that are successes. We want to make sure you're part of our DLAC, which is the District English Learning Advisory Committee, also our Psych ELAC team, which will be monthly. These are for our English learners or our plurilingual learners. We are going to be having parent learning watch throughout the year to give you opportunities to come on campus. We do not do volunteers in the classroom here at Lexington, but we have a lot of PTSA volunteering time where you can actually get out and see. We're always looking for PTSA volunteers with like the book clubs, with the book fairs, with the different events on campus. They get to know our campus really, really well. And then the last thing is the Parent Leadership Academy, which is going to be going out by Mr. Barber. Questions, comments? All right. So good picture to take, a good slide to take a picture of. We're almost done. Thanks for hanging in here. It's a lot of information, right? August 30th is Makeup Picture Day for anybody who missed the gym registration. August 31st is back to school night. September 7th is our school site council. I will be reaching out to parents who wanted to be a part of school site council, and I'll be asking you if you wanted to do it. We get 3 parents from our community. This is a great day, September 22nd, if you haven't been a part of it, 7th grade parents. We invite all our parents back on campus for lunch with your loved one, meaning that you can then go and buy your lunch, pizza or whatever it is, in and out, Chick-fil-A, and come onto campus. We open up the back field, it's like a picnic. Okay, bring blankets, bring easy up. Make sure you bring an umbrella and some lawn chairs. Make your kids sit on the grass, not you. Okay? Some people really go crazy and they like know how to do it. They bring tables, they invite their families out, and it's a lot of fun. There's music, ASB comes around with a little ice cream cart, and there's games, and it's a hugely successful. So we made it one in fall semester, one in spring semester for both 7th and 8th. So we do it multiple times. November 9th is the 8th grade lunch with the Lion. Hopefully the weather remains nice on November 9th. Please join us for those days. There is a cap to it, a limit, okay, because we have a lot of kids. So when that email goes out, it usually gets filled with burger. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, that's the lunch at the Lion. Here's all the dates this year. So lunch with the Lion, a lot of fun. Yes.
Is that 30 minutes as well?
Yeah, but the kids get excused who are for lunch with the Lion a little bit ahead of time to go find their families. And then they also have the 5 minutes extra to get back. So the total time is probably not 40.
Is that at noon?
It is, but don't arrive at noon. Okay, arrive earlier. Okay, make sure you get a spot. Okay. Because we gotta, it's a whole thing. We have to do parking, and we get you out there in the grass and everything. Okay, any questions regarding this? All right, Lion Paw Awards is a way for us to recognize our students. It's really a fun day. Every month, our teachers will select, we rotate our teachers and they select a couple of their students who exhibit like character or effort or whatever it might be. And we do a Lion Paw Award for them where they're invited with you. And we give them a pizza lunch, some salads, some cookies, and then their teacher comes in and recognizes them, or I'll recognize them with a paw print. And then they get a lawn sign and they get pictures. It's just a really lovely day. For those of you guys, I don't know if any of the 8th grade parents here have participated in a Lion Paw Awards. It's really nice, right? It's really enjoyable. So our first one to look out for is scheduled September 1st. Mr. Barlow will be reaching out to you if your child gets a Lion Award. Generally, the children don't know. We call them over the loudspeaker. They are going to cheers for them in their classroom, and they come on up. And we don't tell them what they got it for either. We usually make it a surprise so that their math teacher shows up and they're like, oh, and then math teacher teaches them. It's really nice. Very lovely. Okay. All right. And then communication, I think this might be our last slide here. Communication is a great way to email us. We send out our Monday memo, e-cadence. We've updated our e-cadence parent portal so that you can see what your kids are doing. Your students all have access to e-cadence, which is our platform at school, which teachers will put on there. This is a really important piece. The teachers will have their curriculum letter, how to communicate with them, and their weeks at a glances. And then that way you know what they're doing in the school. There's also the website, the planners, and of course we put out a lot of information on social media. Okay. Any questions on communications?
Yeah, the question I'm having earlier as well on the e-cadence is on the phone available on the phone.
That's a great question. It's an adapting platform. So, Jonathan, do you know that answer to that question? The question was for our Zoom people is whether or not e-cadence is an app on the phone that they can access.
They are actually building an app as we speak, so it'll be out in about a month or so. Our next copy with the principal, if you guys are going to join us, we are going to talk all about Aries, e-cadence, and Parent Square. So that's going to be the first Thursday of the month, 9 a.m., also virtually or in person. So more information will go out on that. As of now, only Parent Square and Aries have now. E-cadence are developing the app, so in about a month or two, is what we were told.
Perfect. Perfect. So for our Zoom parents, the next copy of the principal is going to go over e-cadence, Aries, Parent Square, for all those communication needs. Okay. And again, please ask us, call the main office, we're here to help you. Email your teachers, email the counselors. If you don't get a response from somebody, please email me, email the assistant principals. We respond to our emails within 24 hours, okay? We want to make sure that we're here to serve you, serve your students. We know how important it is. We know why you chose Lexington as your place to send your child. We're really happy to have all of our children here, and we want to continue that customer service. We have a wonderful front office staff. They're very, very nice, and our teachers are generally very, very responsive. But email the teachers, email us, because we are here for you guys. And then any questions, that ends our orientation. But is there any general questions that I did not cover after school, concerns that you might have? This was a long orientation type of session. It's 10 o'clock at this point. I'm gonna stick around a little bit if you have any additional questions. But again, let me just reiterate how happy we are to have your children here with us. We know how special it is that you guys have chosen Lexington Junior High School to be your official one of your children. And we also know that we understand the responsibility that when you send your child to a school, like I said, I have 3, you want to make sure your child is safe, right? You want to make sure your child goes to school, has a good time, and is safe. And that's really the most priority. That's the biggest priority, and making sure they're coming home and they're okay. And they're learning, right? But we want to make sure that they're okay. So that's why we have all these resources. So again, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all of you, and I'll stick around a little bit afterwards for discussion. Thank you. Please get some coffee on your way out. Please get a snack. Okay.